Ah, Rocket League, do you know what? You're awesome. You are by far the greatest downloadable PC and PS4 4-player split-screen supporting cross-platform 60 frames per second free on PS Plus multiplayer game in which you play football with cars that jump and boost and barrel roll and demolish each other in order to score epic goals. Definitely top 3 at least. Hello everyone, my name is Coolcar93 and I will be your incredibly charming host through this comprehensive Rocket League tutorial video.
And I'm Kronovi, #1 player from the PS4 beta and long-term Rocket League and Battle Cars fanatic. I'll be taking over in future videos to talk about some advanced tactics.
We'll also intersperse these tutorials with commentary from other long-standing and respected members of our community, finding out what they consider to be their #1 piece of advice for a new Rocket League player. If you think the game looks easy, you need to understand that Rocket League adds extra little layers of complexity the more you play it. The first time you scramble in a P-roller, you'd be forgiven for thinking that was it. Game mastered. Done. But venture online once or twice, and you'll start running into people who are doing things with their car that you didn't realise were possible. Play a little more, and you'll start sharing lobbies with people who are doing stuff that they didn't realise was possible. And so the cycle of this sky-high skill ceiling will continue, until you find yourself competing against undisputed heavyweight champion of the Rocket League universe! Kronovi.
Oh, that's not right. Look at this. Look how close I am. No.
This is part 1 of a series of tutorials that should formally introduce you to everything Rocket League has to offer. For now, we'll talk about the basic gameplay mechanics that make up the game. In part 2, we'll hand over to Kronovi, #1 ranked player from the PS4 beta, for advanced moves. In part 3, we'll look at common rookie mistakes and match play tactics. Then Kronovi will take over again for part 4, which will focus on advanced match play tactics.
Hey guys, my name is Gibbs. I started playing Battle Cars when it was first released in 2008. I was one of the first to organize community tournaments. My playstyle for Rocket League is all about ball control and passing. My #1 piece of advice for Rocket League is to not always play the ball. You can mess up your opponents by bashing into them or even destroying them. Sometimes the best play is to play the opponent rather than the ball. I can't wait to see you all in future tournaments.
First, you're going to want to enter and complete the game's pre-made tutorial, where you'll be taught basic stuff like steering, accelerating, jumping, boosting and dodging. The most important thing though, is that you'll get a decent feel for the game's handling and how your car feels to control without the pressure of being in a lobby full of pros. So if you haven't already, pause the video and go complete it. If you haven't and you don't, you're clearly a maverick who don't take no shiz from nobody anyway, so our advice is borderline useless. Oh, and when you've done the regular tutorials, do the advanced ones as well. They do a great job of introducing you to some of the concepts we're going to start talking about over the next couple of videos. The in-game tutorial is great, but there are plenty of fundamental concepts it completely brushes over. These include: we'll start off with boost management. The game's tutorial will have introduced you to boost. Hold down circle, you were told, and you'll go faster. Sadly, it never is that simple, and there are a dozen things you have to consider beyond just hold circle to speed up. When you first enter a match, you'll probably be shocked at how fast your boost can actually diminish. Here, I've entered an exhibition match with no bots, because free play actually gives you full boost now for some mental reason. In a real match, it takes just a couple of seconds for it to drain to nothing. Spend some time just boosting around to see how long a full tank lasts. You'll be surprised, it's really not very long. Being wasteful with boost will stop you from ever beating anyone to a loose ball, so above all else, you should always remember this. Think before you boost. Is there a boost canister nearby? Will my opponents beat me to the ball anyway? Is there actually any point in me going faster? If the answer to these is no, maybe just, dodge back to base or chill in the centre of the map for a bit. This way, you'll always have something in the tank for when you really need it. Oh, and as a little bonus tip, nicking your opponent's boost from underneath their nose can seriously screw with them. If they go for a canister and you get there first, use the knowledge that they're scared, boostless and alone to your advantage. It helps. Dodging is a great alternative to boosting, and it's often your only option. As you gain more experience, you'll probably find yourself dodging all over the map very quickly, and that's because you can dodge an unlimited number of times without penalty, in fact gaining speed the entire time. 3 dodges will take you to supersonic speed, and doing one before hitting the ball will give you a hard, flat shot which is perfect against those supremely annoying opponents who always have a permanent bloody goalkeeper. Dodging is especially useful when you need to travel backwards, and that's going to happen more than you think. To reach top speed backwards, hold L2, obviously, down on the analog stick, and double tap X. It's exactly the same as dodging forward, and you have the same speed gains, except everything is mirrored. As well as recovering a loose ball, dodging backwards is useful if you're retreating back to base to pick up boost. You'll never have to waste time turning around again. Just hold R3 on your controller to look behind you, reverse, and then quickly align your car with a free boost canister at your base. Once it's in line, you can let go of R3, or just turn on ball cam, and then start dodging backwards. As long as you don't steer, you'll eventually reach the boost. If you're finding that you struggle with spatial awareness, check the markings on the floor to see where you are on the map. If you retreat like this, you'll gain a full tank of boost and a great defensive position, and all of that without losing track of the ball for a second. Your car also remains facing the opponent's goal, so you can really punish them if a loose ball happens to drop your way. You know how and why to dodge, but there's more to it than that. As the advanced in-game tutorial touched on, there's a maximum period of about 2 seconds between your first jump and your actual dodge. This means you can jump into the sky, wait a few moments, then flip your car in a different direction. The move is tough to master, but it can massively increase your control when a ball is going fast or at an awkward angle. It can also improve your accuracy. If it's looping high, try and time your first jump to meet its trajectory. When you're about to make contact, perform your dodge for a powerful hit. Remember as well that you can aim your dodge. Move the analog stick diagonally when you hit X a second time to dodge in a different direction. The final part of this technique will be introduced to you by Kronovi in the later videos. This involves aerialing and then dodging at the end. And that, ladies and gents, is the end of part 1 of our series of Rocket League tutorials. Of course, there's a ton of stuff we didn't include, and that's because there's way too much depth to Rocket League to talk about everything in just one video. Fortunately, in the next one, we'll be looking at some basic training drills you can do to improve your gameplay. Then it's Kronovi's turn, and he'll introduce us to some of his ridiculously advanced aerials and flips and backwards 360 no-scopes and whatever it is that Kronovi does with a car. We'd also like to mention, this is an evolving series, and it's going to be shaped by you, the commenters and subscribers and trolls and whatever. We want to talk about goalkeeping, shot types, flight control, literally anything we can think of that's worth mentioning. We want to put out a video on it, and it'll be your questions and feedback that form these videos. Our mission is to improve the standard of Rocket League as much as we possibly can, and to do that, we need to know what you want to know. Future tutorial videos may come in the form of commentaries or analyses or anything else, but our mission will remain the same. To improve you all as players. We look forward to finding out how you guys mould this Rocket League tutorial series, and Subpar but in HD in general. Hugs and kisses, Cool Cole 93.